is up, Roughnecks? This is PwnSourceWorks at PwnSourceWorks Gaming, and today we are in Alpha 19.3, looking at the different building blocks. And today we are going to be looking at the materials that it takes to make these, but most specifically we're going to be looking at the experience that you gain from building them, and the best way to gain that experience for the least amount of resources, and to optimize your leveling experience, especially if you're in a group play, because the myth may be that if you start out with a wood frame that you could work your way all the way up and have the most experience that way. So let's take a look at it and see what we find out. Here we have a wood block, and of course you know that if you build a wood block and you upgrade it, eventually you're going to hit the wet concrete block. So you're going to keep going and you come to the wet concrete block, which would hinder our test. So here we have the concrete blocks already dry, and we have the reinforced concrete blocks already dry. So if we look right here at the wood frame, and we are to just upgrade it all the way, that's 456, 696, and 1056 to build that. And it takes 2 to build the frame, 4 wood to upgrade the first, second, and then 10 cobblestone, 10 concrete, 10, and then 10 forged steel to get all the way to the end. So that is 1056. Now we're going to be looking at the iron frame, and we are going to start out with that. Let's take a look. 1, 2, 3. So the iron frame gives you 1320, but it takes 15 iron and 5 clay soil. Now, that's not clay soil, it's actually clay, which you would get in the forge. You need a forge to make an iron frame. So that is a cost for entrance for the iron frame to get that 1320. So here you have the iron frame in here. Now also, the 15 iron and the 5 clay do not translate the same. If you put 1 clay soil in here, you get 5 clay. If you put 1 iron, you get 1 iron. So that means you need 15 iron and technically 1 clay soil in order to make that frame. Okay, so let's continue on. Here's the flagstone. The flagstone block, 360, 600, 960 to upgrade that all the way. And that takes 4 cobblestone rocks to make the flagstone block, 10 cobblestone to upgrade, 10 concrete mix, 10 concrete mix, and 10 forged steel. You can find cobblestone in this right here, or you can actually make it with clay and rocks. Clay and rocks, I think it's 1-to-1. Yes, it's 1-to-1. So you get 1 stone, 1 clay soil makes 1 cobblestone. Or you can dig it up real fast with a basic shovel that you make in the beginning of the game with these blue tarp things. And you actually get quite a bit of it that way. But that's good. That's a nice amount of experience. Now this, I'm gonna just tell you right now, the brick blocks are terrible. Experience-wise, they look nice. It's a nice looking block, so it's aesthetically pleasing, but as far as using it in game, I have never liked this block because it's so expensive. But if you were to upgrade it, that's 840. It costs 12 small stone and 75 clay in the forge to make brick blocks. So the small stone, that takes almost 3 small stone, and it would take 15 clay soil in order to make this in the forge. So that's a lot of materials compared to other things. And then it's 10 and then 10 in order to upgrade it. So I guess you're saving yourself 10 concrete mix by doing this, but you'd need to look at what the resource costs to make concrete mix in the mixer, which would be cement, and then you need to look at cement over here, Yeah, no. It's too expensive. So anyway, here is Rebar, and we're going to look at this one right here. So let's go over here. Got 480, 720, 1080 for the Rebar. And the Rebar is 6 iron and 1 soil. So that's 1/5 of 1 soil, because this is in the forge as well to make a Rebar, and the iron is true 1-to-1. So you'd need 6 iron and literally 1/5 of 1 clay soil, so which would give you a Rebar frame, and then you need 20. So this is the kicker. You need an extra 10 concrete mix in order to upgrade it to the first tier, because a Rebar frame block is useless. It will get destroyed in 2 seconds unless you upgrade it. But the nice thing is it upgrades directly to a wet cement, and it gives you a nice chunk of experience with it. It gives you 480 right off the bat to upgrade it. Boom. That is nice. Now, that gives you 1080, and it's got a pretty low cost of entrance. I like that one. Now, if you were to do wet cement and just upgrade the wet cement, you would get 600, and it would cost you a total of 10 concrete to make the block, and then 10 concrete to upgrade it, and then 10 steel. But you'd only get 600 experience. So for another 6 iron and basically 1/5 of a clay soil and 10 concrete, you can get an extra 480 with the Rebar. So end game, I'm going to say that the Rebar is the best way to go. So beginning game, of course, a wood block is going to be your best bet, or Flagstone, because Flagstone is pretty... You'd only need 10 cobblestone to get it to upgrade that first time, and then you're going to need concrete. So either way, guys, that's what you got. I mean, if I was to choose for myself, I would go with a Rebar. I like the Rebar. I also like the wet cement because you can just put it down and it's done. It's quick. It's going to dry quicker. You don't have to mess with it after you put it down. You just, boom, there it is, and you're done. But it doesn't give you nearly as much experience. If experience is not a factor, wet concrete's the way to go. I really like wet concrete. I like going that route. But the Rebar, if you need experience, Rebar is the way to go. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to take a second to like the video and subscribe. And hopefully, I'll see you in the comments below. And if I don't, I will see you in the next video.